All right, week 6 is here, and we got a lot of news to discuss in the NFL. My name is Harrison Graham. A couple injury notes that we'll get to, plus some other headlines here on this show. Let's start with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. It certainly seems like he's going to be out again as he is dealing with that lingering hamstring, and that is not good because the Ravens looked like you know what without him and all their other guys who have been banged up. A couple of those players could be back this week, so that's good, but they're playing a Rams team who is only 3-2, but is about 3 plays away from being 5-0. And if you're Baltimore, you're just in a bad way right now. I mean, you were staring 1-5 down the barrel. Cooper Rush did not look effective at all last week in their 44-10 loss to the Houston Texans. And you just wonder if this is going to be one of those seasons where, kind of like the 49ers last year, where you're a good team, but you just can't overcome all of these injuries. That just might be the situation at this point in time. Adam Schefter said he's tracking toward not playing this week, so I would be surprised if something changed. Maybe there will be a last-minute kind of effort here. Maybe he'll work out before the game on Sunday, but certainly sounds like he's not going to go. And again, already 1-4, staring at 1-5. Do have some easier games coming up after this game against the Rams, but Baltimore's in a bad way, man, and that's where blowing that game in week 1, losing a couple other close ones early, really comes back to bite you, because now with the injuries and games you really need to win to get back into the playoff hunt, it's going to be an uphill battle. Another quarterback, Kyler Murray, who's dealing with a foot issue, and kind of like the Ravens, the Cardinals are reeling here with 3 straight losses, including one of the more wild losses you will ever see, which we broke down in the way they lost to the Tennessee Titans this past Sunday. Has not practiced yet this week. Friday will be a big determining factor in whether or not he's going to be able to give it a go against a red-hot Colts team. Jacoby Brissett waiting in the wings if Kyler cannot play. And the Cardinals really need to stop the bleeding, and Jonathan Gannon could really use a win, because you've got that whole situation going on with Amari DiMercato. They find the coach, a lot of debate over that. Regardless of what side of the debate you are on that standpoint, there's friction right now in Arizona. I mean, they started 2-0. They almost were 3-0, and instead they've lost 3 in a row on 3 straight walk-off field goals. And again, the way they lost to Tennessee is one of the absolutely most unbelievable losses you will ever see in the NFL. It feels like one of those losses that could snowball the season, especially now that you got this coach-player kind of drama circulating within that locker room. So I don't love their chances to beat Indianapolis regardless. I definitely don't love them if it's Jacoby Brissett instead of Kyler Murray. So we'll see if he can make a push to play here. But if not, give me the Colts in that one. I think the Cardinals are going to be losing for a 4th straight week. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the new subscribers recently. If you have subbed recently, turn on those notifications. But if you haven't, and if you want free and daily NFL and college football content, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. It is free. We are less than 400 subs away from our next milestone of 12,000 subscribers. Appreciate all the love and support already. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. All right, Joe Flacco, not that this is a surprise, but he is going to start right away for the Cincinnati Bengals after they make that move to bring him on board. They're not wasting any more time with Jake Browning. I think that's become abundantly clear. He expressed his disappointment with the media, but also understood that his level of play wasn't good enough. Let's be real, though. Joe Flacco's level of play, if it continues like this, that is also not going to be good enough for a Bengals team that has major issues. Bad offensive line, not a good defense. I think this move, the one thing Cincinnati is kind of hoping for is that Joe Flacco, unlike Jake Browning, has a big arm. Even still, that's one thing he could still do, is really spin the rock. And you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, 2 guys who can really threaten defenses downfield. So I think they're hoping they can generate some big plays with Joe Flacco. I think it's kind of false hope that he's going to save their season here, but you at least respect them trying to do something. A fun fact and storyline heading into this one is Joe Flacco, the one game he won this year with the Browns was against the Packers, and that's what the Bengals play this week. Could you imagine if 40-year-old Joe Flacco beat the Packers twice in the same season with 2 different teams? I mean, that it would be a very, very unique situation if that were to go down. So certainly would be fascinating if it happened. I'm not betting on it. I don't think it's very likely at all, but I am curious to see how he can play with these big-time receivers. All right, a few more things to discuss coming up on the other side, but do got to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor, Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I've been red hot on Prize Picks recently, and I'm looking to carry that momentum into this week. The way Prize Picks works is simple. You just pick more or less on player stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups, and you are good to go. Passing yards, receiving yards, rushing, touchdowns, other stats, other sports, all available for you. So go check that out. PrizePicks also is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in your same lineup. Want to pick your favorite quarterbacks more on passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns? You can do so right now in the same lineup, only on PrizePicks. Little 3-player lineup I like this week. Caleb Williams, more than 21.5 rushing yards. That number has decreased, so I like that even more than I did earlier in the week. Jaden Daniels, goblin play to throw more than half a touchdown. I do think that'll happen. And then Rome Odunze against a bad Commander secondary, more than 64.5 receiving yards. $20 there to win 85. So check that out. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Okay, some other injuries to watch. We obviously can't hit them all here, but 5 players that I'm keeping an eye on this week. Terry McLaurin, who's dealing with that kind of quad hip issue, has not practiced this week. We'll see if he can do something today, but his status for Monday is in doubt at best. Mac Jones sounds like he is in line to be okay. He's been dealing with kind of a hip and a knee issue for San Francisco. Doesn't sound like Brock Purdy is going to return this week. Speaking of Brock Bowers, Raiders are desperate. They've lost 4 straight. He's dealing with the knee issue. We'll see if he can give it a go. Chuba Hubbard with Carolina could return this week. They probably won't force it, though, if he's not ready. Rico Dowdle's been running the ball pretty well. Then Darnell Mooney, who's got a bit of a shoulder problem, sounds like he's trending toward playing. Christian Watson for the Packers had his practice window opened up, so we'll see if he's activated as well. And then Christian Gonzalez with the Patriots was limited at practice on Thursday. We'll see how the next 24 hours or so go. Okay, Mike McDaniel. Is this a must-win for him if he wants to cool the hot seat status down in Miami? Because they started 0-3, but they were competitive against the Bills in that third game. Then they beat the Jets. Then it's like, okay, beat the Panthers. We'll calm things down. Get up 17-0, and they choke that game away. And all of Dolphins fans want him and the GM Chris Greer fired. Well, now you got a desperate Chargers team coming to town because they've lost 2 straight games. And, you know, you've got the Tua, Justin Herbert angle. Obviously, they went back-to-back picks in that draft several years ago. Let's face it, McDaniel really needs a win here. And they got the Browns next week. So if you could somehow win this game, if you're Mike McDaniel, to kind of cancel out the loss from last week, get to 2-4, then you beat the Browns next week, potentially you're 3-4. Okay, like calms the waters a little bit. Again, big picture, I don't think he's the guy, but just analyzing this from an outside looking in standpoint, he's in survival mode, right? You cannot fall to 1-5. I think if they lose this game, especially in ugly fashion against a beat-up Chargers team who's lost 2 in a row, I would not be shocked if they pulled the plug on this thing. I just think this thing is on the verge of collapse in Miami, and Mike McDaniel absolutely could be the first coach fired this season. So we'll see if he's able to pull off an upset here. Again, LA's beat up. They're down to like practice squad running backs. Joe Walt is still out. You know, they have some key, Khalil Mack, they have some key guys out, but I'd still be picking LA in this one. So we'll see if Miami can find some answers here. Who will be the first head coach fired this season? If you had to guess, give us a name down in the comment section below. Mike McDaniel certainly in that conversation. So curious what you guys think. My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to this episode of 4 Verts. We will continue to keep you guys updated all season long and all weekend long. So be sure to subscribe and lock us in. Until next time, see you soon.